And good afternoon or good morning, I guess. It
It
depends on what
is.
time
I was just talking about it. They serving breakfast this morning.
serving breakfast. I'm Darren Smith along with Steve Walsh. We'd like to welcome you to the pregame cheat sheet. We are live here on our social media platforms on the X, Facebook Live, as well as YouTube. And Steve, the Kansas City Chiefs, they host the Las Vegas Raiders this at noon today, just under a half, well, just a little bit over a half hour away from kickoff. And what we like to recall the Rasheed Rice Bowl. I mean,
Hmm.
at least the return of Rasheed Rice. So, your initial thoughts on this matchup?
And it's very interesting just because when you think about how much people have been saying, oh, well, wait till we get four back, even the players, the fans.
Right.
Rasheed Rice put out a video earlier, well, late last week, hyping, his return. And my thing is, and I'll throw it back to you of like, did they how much do you actually think they'll utilize him today? He hasn't played in a official game over a year, right? And I know preseason, but in an official game, like I don't think you just throw him in there to the wolves. Even though, no, I know you can practice it, but once those live bullets start flying, it's a totally different space.
Well, to answer your question, honestly, I think they're going to do exactly what they did with Xavier Worthy when he returned after his injury. I know it was only a couple, 2-3 weeks,
Hmm.
but I think they're going to feed him. I think they're going to get him involved right away
Hmm.
only because they did see him and he did. I mean, he did do well in preseason.
Hmm.
So it's not like he just hasn't been in the offense with the flow and with
Right.
the other teammates. So I would say that they're going to throw him right into the mix. I believe he's going to start today, unless something is chaffing according to the depth chart. He's in the starting lineup, so I expect him to start, and I expect him to feature him a lot on their opening draft.
I don't know though, man. Like I said, it's not hot. It's like it's going to be about 65, 67 degrees today, and so I just you got to get your legs under you, man. Like, and I
Well,
and I
but
take it,
he has. I mean, it's not like he's out of shape because he was just suspended. It wasn't like he was injured. I
but
mean,
it's different. It's different because the hype's there. You all hyped up, and it's like, all right, once you get out there, and I get it, it's like riding a bike. It should be like riding a bike.
but the same can be said for when Xavier returned him because remember everybody thought they were going to be careful with him because of the injury and the shoulder stuff and afraid for him to
That was
take a
only
hit.
3 weeks though.
Yeah, but
He
but
hadn't
again,
played. No.
no, no, no. I get what you're saying. He hadn't played in an official game for you, but he did play in the preseason games because he knew that he was going to be facing.
And you playing the twos, and you playing the threes and fours.
But you,
It's
but you,
it's
but you,
different.
but I mean, last I checked, you can get hurt in preseason as Hollywood
Of
Brown.
course, of course.
So
However, you're not going the full 110% like you would be
no,
today.
no, he was because he knew that he was going to be missing
I don't
six
know, man.
weeks.
I don't know. You coming back from there? You just kind of testing it. You testing the waters at that point. Right now, it's full go.
Okay, so we'll agree to disagree on that. But
Okay.
going further, Kansas City Chiefs they entered today's game with a 3-3 record. Raiders are 2-4. Chiefs come off of a big win last Sunday night against the Detroit Lions. Sunday Night Football, 30-17. Raiders, of course, I think they won last week.
Did it?
And of course, they're 2-4. This game, of course, depending on how you look at it, could be for last place in the AFC West.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there are two other games that we talk briefly about. You got the Colts traveling to Los Angeles, taking on the Chargers. New York Giants traveling to Denver, take on the Broncos. So, of course, depending on how those teams play, and those two teams are coming off of big wins themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They could go into our AFC West division opponents' home stadiums and knock them off, where it could essentially be a three-way tie if the Chiefs take care of business.
Yeah, and you know what though, I really believe that that the Chiefs can't come in here and take this Raiders team lightly
Not
because they're battling just like the Chiefs are now. I, any given Sunday, right? However, I do think, and the Chiefs
on
are
Monday.
favored by what, about 12, 11 or 12 point, 11 and a half, I believe.
I think it's up to 12 and a half now.
12 and a half. Okay. So they still can't come in here and take it lightly because they know what's at stake. They know that they still have to climb up this hill. And a lot of people are like, the Chargers are going to be the front runners in this division. I don't see it. However, Denver's still there, kind of laying back and seeing what they can do.
So when you look at it and just talk briefly about it, you said Chiefs are 12.5 point favorites.
Hmm.
How much pressure do you think it puts on them to actually cover the spreads based off of what they did last week against Detroit, where I think they were 2.5 point favorite and ended up beating them by 13?
You know where the pressure comes from? We just talked about it. You got all your weapons.
I mean,
That's
that's what I've been saying.
that's where the pressure comes from, and the team hasn't shied away from it. They've been wait till we get 4 back. Wait till Rasheed comes back. We're gonna have all Patrick. We're gonna have all our weapons. They're gonna have to take away. They're gonna have to take away the deep threat. They're gonna take away the unders. I so that's the pressure that they have on them.
They've been saying that, and that's why I've been saying the last couple of weeks,
Mm.
especially when you get Rice back, there are no more excuses for
Yeah,
this offense.
yeah. So the 12-point favorites are
12 and a half.
12 and a half point favorites. The pressure is definitely on this Kansas City Chiefs team. The Raiders just come in. They just play their game.
Yeah, and speaking of the Raiders, of course, the Raiders, led by Geno Smith, the quarterback, he leads the league with 10 interceptions.
10
Now,
in what, 6 games, 7 games?
and 6 games.
6
Yeah.
games.
So this is an opportunity. If you look at it, if you're from if you're from a fan perspective, and if you're looking at it from the team's perspective, for the defense to be able to come out and you know make some noise in this game, because to be honest, if he's giving the ball away like that, if you don't get your fair share, there's a problem.
It is. I can definitely see that. But we got to remember too, though, that Geno has won football games in this league.
Yeah,
He has won in big football games. So I
but
would
Geno's
say,
also giving the ball away on a silver platter.
yeah,
for
yeah,
you.
I got you. I understand that. But it's still, this is a new Raiders team.
Mm.
And I'm not painting a picture of excuses or anything like that. New head coach, new quarterback, new offensive regime. So I really believe that, they're just trying to get their feet up under him, to be honest. I don't know if, and I watched the game where he threw those 3 interceptions in one game. And it's like, man, do, what do you attribute that to? Do you attribute that to the new offense? Do you attribute that to them just playing a solid defense, or is he washed?
Well, I remember that game came against the three interception came against the Chargers. I remember that game. I think it was on a Monday night, and from what I saw in the game, he was pressing a lot. I think he was trying to make plays. I think if I remember the game, the Chargers were going down, scoring at ease, and they just couldn't. He just couldn't put the ball in the money. And Ashton Genty, he hasn't really been the rookie
It
of
was
the
actually
year.
the Colts. They played the Colts
Coach,
that game. Yep. The
okay.
Colts that game we had 3 interceptions. The Colts beat them 40-6.
I think he also had 3 against the Chargers too, though.
Wow.
I think that was like either the
Wow.
opening weekend or the second week of the season.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, it had to be second week because the Chiefs played the Chargers. So he also had 3 interceptions in that game as well. I think he had it in the first half. That's how bad it was. But no, I just think Geno's he's just been trying to do too much. And look, the Raiders are still gonna be the Raiders. They suffer from penalties. They suffer from receivers not being able to make the catches. Again, Ashton Genty has not been. I guess the running back that they thought he was going to be. It's still.
He got spurts, man, because he got me some points. If you're a fantasy owner and you don't have, I got him.
He's had out of the 6 games, I think he's had maybe 2 games. I know one game he had 180 plus yards of scrimmage.
Rookie.
I know, but when you draft at a high, you're expected to do, especially at running back, you're expected to come in and contribute, a la Saquon Barkley did when he was a high draft pick. I'm just saying that's the expectation. So
I got you.
and that's the expectation from from Raider Nation or any other fan base. When you get drafted that high.
Yeah, and the Raiders have kind of been in this bad team purgatory. They have. If you just think about, and I don't want to go back this far, but you think about when they had Henry Ruggs. They had that kind of explosive offense, or getting to that point where you go get a guy similar to Tyreek Hill, and they were building their team. If you remember, they were building their team similar to Denver did the same, and then you saw them, the Chargers go get Justin Herbert. They built their team to beat this Chiefs team, and they had a solid defense. And so now they've been in that kind of that bad team purgatory over these past 7, 8 years, and they're trying to find their way out of it. And you talk about drafting a young running back, bringing in Geno Smith. I think Geno Smith was kind of a I don't know if you call it just somebody till you get by to figure out a new, kind of a stopgap to where you find your quarterback for the future.
Well, that's the thing. The problem is that when they brought in the head coach, was of course Pete Carroll. He was just the head coach of Geno Smith up in Seattle, so he brought him there. So I wouldn't say it was a stopgap, because they had an opportunity to draft a quarterback in this year's draft.
They did.
And they bypassed Shador and everyone else,
did.
And had the confidence that Geno was going to, and I believe they signed Geno to a contract extension as well. So that means that they were all set for who they have. So Steve Walls, Darren Smith here with you live inside the Arrowhead Stadium press box, bringing the pregame cheat sheet. Follow Steve Walls at Steve Walls KC. Follow me on social media at Darren Smith NFL Steve. The last time these two teams played was, of course, Black Friday. The Chiefs, of course, came from behind and essentially won 1973, 19 to 17 late game-winning field goal, which, of course, was how that game
Mm-hmm.
played out on Black Friday. We remember Patrick Mahomes yelling at Andy Reid and Wanye Morris at the sidelines talking about
Yeah.
get him out of here. I mean,
Yeah.
that's when you kind of saw at that time Antonio Pearson's idea was, of course, to beat up on Patrick Mahomes, and
Mm-hmm.
he was getting it done because they were taking advantage of Wanye Morris and Kingsley in that game. But seeing how the Chiefs have moved on and improved with their line from that. They're once again without Josh Simmons in today's game, who of course was on the inactive list due to family personal situation. How do you see Jalen Moore? Jalen Moore performing in the second week out, going up against someone with the likes of Max Crosby.
At this point, he's still playing. He's playing for contract, man. He's playing for money.
Cool.
Jalen, I know he's gotten paid, granted,
Yeah,
but however,
2 years,
you're
30 million. That's
no,
a
no,
lot.
no. I get it, but like Patrick has gotten a lot of people paid beyond their current deals. A lot of people. I'm just mainly talking receivers, but he's
Orlando Brown.
Orlando Brown. He's gotten people paid, and so
Yeah.
it's he's playing for putting good tape on film. It's like y'all seen me protect Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the league, arguably the best quarterback in the league, and so I feel like he's playing, for that very reason. And not only that, he's playing for a starting spot because there's no. If he plays well, it's like, why do we need to go back to this rookie?
Well,
I,
because it's like,
yeah, but
well, no, here's the thing. I don't. Okay, so I disagree about the contract only because obviously he was a backup. He was a backup in since it's when the Chiefs paid him
yeah,
initially when they got him to be the starting left tackle. But when of course Simmons dropped all the way down to third, it was like, oh hell, well, we got to get this guy. And of course he performed well in training camp and performed well enough to be the starting left tackle. Now here's the thing. I don't think he's working on a new contract. The problem, the situation is going to be is you have him getting these reps in because he'll end up being the right tackle next season once they part ways with Juwan. Because let's be honest, he has no more guarantee money, just so they're going to part ways with him after this season. So
yeah. Well, here's the thing: you don't know when Josh Simmons is coming back. Let's
now that part is
yeah.
that
So
part
I
is
mean, he's playing still for that starting spot. It's like, all right,
well,
I'm
he
here.
got to play. I mean, it's his right now until,
Right.
until he returns. So,
Agreed.
but just to contrast, I'm just saying going further. Well, now if he doesn't come back, then that situation you deal with at the end of the season,
Yeah.
whatever. But if he does come back, then you can just move him over to the right side where
Okay.
Juwan is currently, because they're gonna cut bait with Juwan Taylor and everything else. Then he has no more guaranteed money yet left.
I mean, but if he just comes back for cheap,
Nah, why
nah.
would he do that?
I'm just saying.
I mean, he's made $60 million. His cap hit, I think, is about 20. His cap hit would be no, well. He doesn't have any guaranteed money, and they've paid him. I don't think they haven't restricted his contract, so he's fine. Looking at this game, Steve, we've got Andy Reid, who is, of course, 276 and 149 on the season
Mm.
against the Raiders. He is 21 and 6. So, I wanted to ask Andy this week, and I thought about it. And I don't know, maybe I'll ask him when they get ready to play the Raiders in Vegas. Is how much has he bought into? The hatred of the Raiders and Raiders. Because here's the thing, because in the 80s, growing the 80s, 90s, when we were younger, you could tell it was Raiders, and you hated the Raiders.
Yeah.
And it's like now, it's just like, and I don't know if it's because they're not in L.A. or Oakland anymore; they're in Las Vegas. I just don't. I mean, and we keep trying to feed into the
You
fact
know what it
that
is?
it's Raiders week, but
You know what
just
it
don't really
is?
feel like they feel it like that. No.
Back then, I think it was more of a closer, win-loss margin,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, because I can remember those games when they had Art Shell, and all the, Tim Brown and all them
I
guys.
remember when Derek Carr, 2015, when he was a MVP favorite, came here. I was shooting pictures on the field, and they was putting boots passes to the Chiefs.
Yeah. So
I mean,
this
it
is
was 10 years ago.
you got to remember,
Wow.
this is a different Raiders team too. I mean, last year this team isn't running through a wall like they did for Antonio Pierce last year. At least I don't see it. Antonio Pierce had the city. I mean, he's from there. He was a former player. Guys, he's a younger guy, and they kind of, it was like, all right, he was big brother to him, to be honest.
Yeah.
More than just being a coach kind of father figure type dude. He was more of their big brother, and I think that's why they related to him a lot more, being from the Bay, just being from that area, and knowing the culture of Oakland and Raider history. And so I think all these guys, and he talked a good game too.
He did. He did talk. He did talk.
So
Um, looking at certain matchups offensively for Kansas City with the return of Rashee Rice, how do you expect this offense to look? And of course, with his return,
mm,
he's going to be getting targets and attempts that would have been going to other places. Who do you think becomes the odd man out in that situation?
man, somebody posted a photo of all the guys in that wide receiver room, from Jalen, from Royals to Nico
Thornton,
Remigio,
yeah.
Thornton, Xavier Worthy, Rice, and to me, you're gonna start. I think you're gonna have that Hollywood, you'll have Xavier and Rice out there,
Right.
and then there's no drop off. Because then you still got Juju,
Hmm.
you still got the Thornton.
Yep.
You can throw in Nico. I mean, he can spread the field too.
And
You still got Kelsey.
we still haven't seen Royals yet, which is,
Right.
I
It's tough to pick up this offense though, unless you're thrown into the fire.
I mean, if you know the route tree, you just need to know what route you need to run.
No, it's a lot different. I don't know if you saw this, but last week the Chiefs posted that one of the touchdowns from, I think it was his second touchdown, from Hollywood Brown,
Hmm.
and Hollywood ran out and he was mic'd up and he asked Juju, "Hey, what route I got on this?" At the line of scrimmage. Hey, what route? He was like, "Oh, you got the whatever he said." And he ran it and got the touchdown. So
There you go.
he broke the huddle, didn't know what route he was running. Hey, what route I got on this? He was like, "Hey, you got this, this, that."
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So
When you find out what route you got to run,
yeah,
you could.
but as a veteran, you
Yeah,
can
he's
do
done
that. He still knows where to line up. So we've seen these guys have to. We're talking about Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice. Those guys were both thrown into the fire. You don't have to do that with Royal just because you have everybody else.
I still think Tyquan Thornton becomes the odd man out,
Hmm.
only because I mean he played last week, but had absolutely 0 targets, and Rice wasn't even, Rice hadn't even returned yet. And again, after Worthy's initial essentially debut against the Ravens, he was kind of Worthy's been kind of a decoy in a way. It felt like the last couple weeks. Now again, I like you and everyone else, I'm excited. I'm anxious.
You
I'm
know what?
anticipating, what this offense is going to look like.
I think Taekwon's gonna get those Justin Watson plays.
Mm. Well, and we did hear that Dave Tope said that he will play a lot more on special teams.
Yeah, which I don't like that. I
Yeah.
think he's gonna get those Justin Watson plays. You remember where he used like, "Oh, we think it's 87, but it's 84."
Yeah.
Running around.
Which is again the whole hashtag EG. Everyone's got to eat,
Yeah.
or everyone's going to eat.
Yeah.
It's we talk about it. It is a good problem for the team to have.
Hmm.
But again, I was someone to say it puts more. Well, I'm saying that for X Factor. Let's go to the X Factor right now, and I want to go on the defense. I want to start defensively first for you.
Okay.
What do the Chiefs? Who's the X Factor on defense that you see for the Chiefs that need to help them stop the Raiders' offense and to help them get a win today?
I think it's Chris Jones. I'm gonna go with Chris. I didn't go with Chris. It's been a few weeks. Last week he didn't get. He had a lot of pressure, but he's got to start getting to the quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, we see a lot of these guys. You mentioned Max Crosby. We see a lot of these guys. Even the guy that played last week, 97, young kid.
I know you're talking about, but
Yeah. So he's got to start. And I know he's older, a little longer in the tooth, but he's got to get after the quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, because to me, at the end of the season, if he doesn't, I'm like, you can use him as a bargaining piece to go younger, and and chat, y'all can tell us how you feel, but I feel like you can use him as at the end of the season.
Who?
Yes. I'm just saying.
Oh, I didn't. Okay.
I'm just saying, because if he's not getting after the quarterback, what is he giving you?
Talk about more about that on the Red Hour this week.
right.
Which, of course, you can join Steve Walls and myself, along with DJ Q and Sean Tyler for the Red Hour Monday nights, 6:30 to day after the Chiefs game, because we'll be doing it Tuesday next week. But tonight, tomorrow night, 6:30 to 7:30, right here on your social media platforms, along with Sean Tyler, DJ Q, myself, and Steve. We bring you the Red Hour post-game stuff for the Kansas City Chiefs. And Steve, so my X Factor, that's a good point what you brought about with Chris Jones. So that's interesting. I'm going to go with the linebacking crew because while they don't really, I mean, you don't really have big names. You got Trey Tuck and a few others,
Mm,
Michael Mayers for the wide receivers. I think if he plays, I'm not sure what the status is of Brock Bowers, but I think it's going to be a nice test with Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty to see what these linebackers can do to
yeah,
keep them contained and to keep them from making big plays. Especially when you know that Gino is going to run the football, you're obviously going to hope that the defensive line and Chris Jones can get to him to force him into
yeah, I agree.
some big turnovers. So that's my X factor.
Okay.
Um, Offense, who you got for your X factor?
Mm. I'm gonna pull a U this week. I'm gonna pull a U. I'm gonna say
I
I'm
know
gonna
that's
say
gonna be
Andy Reid.
okay.
I'm gonna say Andy Reid. And the
Andy Reid.
reason why I say that is because Andy Reid has a lot of pressure on him, man.
Okay.
You got a lot of, and I granted, I get it.
No,
He talked
that's
Andy talked about a lot of RPOs where Patrick gets that run pass option, and he either run it or he's gonna pass it. He ain't taking the giving the running back the ball. So I think it's got to be Andy Reid. He's gonna have to play Geppetto and have these guys be kind of be the puppet master for these guys, and I really believe we're gonna see what kind of plays he has up his sleeve, because today he's gonna showcase something that we haven't seen before, just because you've got all your pieces.
so that's your X factor, which is
Yeah.
you almost got me, Steve. But you know what? I'm a pull a me times two.
Okay.
Pressure to me is going to be on Bad Nagy. Hold on now follow me on this.
All right.
Now everybody likes to say Andy Reid is the one that calls the plays. Look, I'm not going to. I don't feel like having that discussion right now. But here's the thing. I know you've seen as well as I have. Diana Rousseau and a few others who have tried to put Matt Nagy's name out in the atmosphere
Yeah.
as a head coaching candidate for the Tennessee Titans and other teams. Now, here's the point I'm going to make.
Okay.
You can't be a head coaching candidate. I mean, Eric Bieniemy, but that's another discussion. And you ain't quote unquote calling the plays, but somehow your name is out here as a head coaching.
Let me put it to you this way: the plays are coming from his microphone to Patrick's ears or headset, but the person who's being Geppetto,
Well,
yeah, you call him.
I'm just saying, same could have been said for Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah.
But okay, we ain't gonna go there.
Yeah.
It's true. But I said it to say that if that is true,
Yeah.
you need to again, and we've talked about it. You got all your players, and here's the crazy thing about this: we are in week 7 of the NFL season. I have never since we've been covering the team, and I've been covering this for a long time, have I seen the Chiefs. It's healthy on offense. They have no players.
Knock on wood.
No, I'm saying, but they have no players who are injured that is going to be playing in today's game on the offensive side of football.
But that's a good problem that they've always had.
No, I'm saying no. But what I'm saying, someone's always been nicked or something.
Yeah.
I'm saying you don't have any issues. So for me, if I'm at Nagy, one, yeah, we'll bring Andy Reid on this, but I'm using Nagy because of the whole head coach stuff. You've got to figure out a way to feed everybody the ball. And as I said, now that they feel like the way that they feel, and they've been averaging 31 points a game these last 3 games, and 2 wins and a loss, you don't have any, at least for me, you don't get any excuses or any passes from me to not be able to put points up on the board.
Huh.
You again, the magic number is 30. Because from what everyone talked about, how this team should be looking, no, they should easily be able to put up points on the board against this team, especially when Gino has a chance to give the ball away.
Yeah.
With 10 interceptions, so he'll give you a chance, and you might get field position and good. They might go for the 4th down, and you might be able to stop them, get good field position to make sure that you don't put Harrison Buck in a situation where he has to make a big field goal or something like that, because we still don't know his mindset when it comes to these missed kicks or opportunities these last 6 weeks. So I think the pressure's on Nagy and of course Andy Reid by happenstance to where you've got to put these players in position. And if you want to build off that statement win against the Lions as a 13-point favorite, you need to put your foot on the necks of the opponents so they know that, okay, you got Washington coming because you're going to be on STV again next Monday night. you want to make sure that you leave no doubt when people come in. That's the thing. They need to start fearing Arrowhead again.
Yeah, that's
Chiefs
true.
have been taking some L's in this place that they normally wouldn't take. So you
That's
need
one
to
of my takes
reset.
for next week. An early take for next week is young quarterback coming in and play Arrowhead.
Yeah.
Early take.
So for me, there's a lot to this. So for me, it's Nagy because I want to see how creative they are in the play calling and getting right to football, putting him in space, and just being able to share the wealth around. Because I want to see not look. One thing they got, Steve, that they know they got speed now.
Mm.
They got speed. They got speed. They got skills. They got everybody at the position that they need, and so that's
Yeah,
it for me.
I agree.
We
All
got
right.
any comments from the people you spoke to?
Sarah 73 said they better win.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
necessarily they better win too.
yeah,
You can't afford to lose this game, go 3-4
yeah.
in a division where, I mean, again, you got everybody healthy. You got no excuse as to why. I mean,
It's nice day
literally,
out here. I mean, this can't be one of those games where it's like, oh, oh brother.
hold on, I already thought about it. They got everybody healthy on defense too.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
mean, that's
It's a full arsenal, and you've got to be able to go out there and show. Basically, you putting the league on notice. It's like, all right, this Chiefs team, we're the best team in the league. Because I see those power rankings every
oh
week,
man.
and it was people are making a big deal about the Chiefs being at number one, and believe you had the Chiefs, then you had
Some with the Chiefs dropping the
Buffalo,
rankings
yeah,
after beating Detroit, and then of course you
yeah,
got clowns on TV talking about the playoffs don't won't run through Kansas City. Like, do you see how this team is looking and
yeah,
how? But
yeah.
that's why they play the game.
Yeah,
Uh,
but real quick, you've seen the teams that beat the Chiefs. Look at the Eagles, how they've kind of fallen off, so to
yeah,
speak. Look
so
at
the Chargers,
Jacksonville and Chargers. So those are the three
but
teams that
still,
have
man,
beat
you
this
got to
Chiefs
scratch your
team.
head
So
on
it's like
how they lost
they
to.
they just caught them in a bad spot.
Yeah.
They did.
Make sure you join us post game. Steve Walls and myself will bring you Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes. We'll bring you talk. We'll talk about the locker room interviews that we get a chance to do with the players post game, and then of course we'll bring you our post game thoughts on the field after the game, and then of
Mhm.
course once again tomorrow night the Red Hour. Steve Walls, Darren Smith, myself, DJ Q, and Sean Tyler will bring you all the games, and of course we'll preview tomorrow night's two Monday Night Football games, as well as next Monday night's game that we'll preview between the Washington Commanders and the
Mm.
Kansas City Chiefs. That'll be held right here. Steve and I will be back next week with the pregame cheat sheet at 6:30 local time here in Kansas City for a 7:15 p.m. kickoff. And of course, Steve, before we get out of here, your prediction on today's game.
I got the Chiefs 31-21.
Oh, they scored that many points, huh?
31-21. Yeah.
I've got the Chiefs winning 31 to. It might have been 30. I think might have been 35-13. I think the Chiefs just blow them. I think they cover easily, and I just think it's a blowout on their behalf.
Yeah.
Before we get out of Steve, you want to thank your sponsors?
Shout out to my friends over at Dillard's on the Rosa. Go talk to my guy Herman Brown. Herman Brown is in the men's department downstairs at Dillard's on the Rosa. If you're a lady as well, go grab your man something. Holidays are coming up. Go take care of him. Make sure the game day look is on point. Also, my friends over at Riceman Nissan, just south of the airport. Go talk to my friend Matt. He's a general manager out there at Riceman Nissan, just south of the airport. Every customer, every time.
I want to thank Todd White and Todd's Clothes and Taylor Suits getting me right. Got the nice little fit going. Got to say hi to Mama because I know she probably watches. Not she probably in church, but when she comes out, we could just want to say hi to you. Shout out to Miss Talina Wiley. I got a text from her. She says she's watching as well. And also, because they served us breakfast and they were closed before we got here this morning. I know Steve and I are probably going to go by Gates Barbecue. I know I'm going by there after the game. And I know they're serving the Raiders too. So I'm going to try to rush Steve to the get through the post game because they're going to have some wings downstairs post
I mean,
game.
real quick, 1 minute, 31-21.
So we might just get up and say, hey, Chiefs won. Move on next week, and then we're gonna go get us some gates. But I want to thank them. Of course, you can go to 5 locations. If you haven't already gone there, make sure you go there post game. They got a whole bunch of new stuff: the Bernie fries, the Bernie Mac, chicken links, sausages, and all that good stuff. So one of 5 locations around the metro area, and of course, shout out to some of the people in the parking lot today that was saucing stuff over Gates. I know the Gates crew, sauce crew, was out there and presented them with coupons and stuff as well. So thank you so much for their support. And again, Steve Walls at Steve Walls KC at Darren Smith NFL. This is the pregame cheat sheet. We'll see you post game after the game. Go Chiefs.